everyone, so welcome to my Halo Infinite review. I'm making this review about 20 hours of playing the campaign and close to 30 hours of playing the multiplayer since it launched almost a month ago now. This is 343's third shot at making a Halo game. We had 4, 5 Guardians and now Halo Infinite. This is going to be an ongoing game for the next 10 years from what I've been reading from 343 themselves and all around the internet. So when I make this, this is kind of my score for now. It could either drop a little bit or raise a little bit depending on what they do in the future. But like I said, that's how much time I have in the campaign, how much time I have in the multiplayer, and I feel like I have a good grasp to talk about all the things that I like, love, don't like so much, little things like that. So without further ado, let me get into my review for Halo Infinite, the campaign, the multiplayer, just the whole game. So it's been 6 years since Halo 5 Guardians, and I know a lot of people, including myself, were not very happy with how that campaign played out. There just wasn't enough Master Chief, the fact that Locke got most of the missions, really, and a lot of the kind of like most epic best parts of that game. Not too great for most people's perspective of what a Halo game should be. So when it comes to the campaign, they definitely made this a lot more Master Chief focused story, not so much on Cortana or the UNSC or anything. This is Master Chief's journey, trying to figure out what is going on with Zeta Halo. There is a bit of a time jump from the end of the 5th game to this one, where I'm going to try not to be spoilerish here, but the UNSC is going to Zeta Halo. They realize that Cortana is moving her forces there. She's destroyed a bunch of the UNSC on Earth and around the galaxy, and she's also done the same to the Banished, which is a group of brutes led by Atriox and Artium, as we learn. And yeah, she has done numbers to their planets, their forces too. So everyone is headed to Zeta Halo, kind of one, the UNSC and Master Chief to stop them, where the Banished are heading there, of course, to stop Cortana, but also use the Halo as a weapon against all of humanity. Events kind of transpire, and it leads to Master Chief and a lone Marine, who we know as Echo 216, kind of teaming up together. He's terrified, he's scared, but Master Chief is basically telling him, this is our duty, this is our job to protect humanity. We can't run right now, we have to go to Zeta Halo. And once you get there, there is a whole lot of things to do, and most of them are take care of the Banished, but it's a very different ring, as they explain, so you have a lot to do and explore, and this is a very sandboxy, much more open Halo game than we've ever been used to before. Like, the closest thing I can relate it to, and it's not a Far Cry game, but imagine if Halo tried its crack at a Far Cry campaign, and that's really what you get here. There is a lot of things for you to do, side missions for you to explore, little upgrades for you to find throughout Zeta Halo, but it is a big open world for you to go and explore, and you can do this through so many things. I'll kind of get into that a little bit later on when I start talking about the aspects of this campaign. But I did like the story of this game. It felt like a true Halo story, kind of back to the roots almost of Halo Combat Evolved, and I thought that was a really good stepping point for this new game and this new project that's apparently going to go on for about 10 years. And because of that, when the game wraps up, some things do feel either rushed over in terms of, let's just say, Cortana and the UNSC, and just I wish we would have gotten a little more history with them, but we might. And the ending of this too feels a little, it's definitely a setup for events yet to come. In the moments I was a little bit let down that I wasn't able to jump into all this story that they're setting up right now, because I felt this could have been longer. I feel like if you just did this main story missions and not the side missions, you could get this campaign done in easily like 4 to 5 hours, maybe even quicker than that. Where my first playthrough, I did it in about 10 or 11 hours, but that was with doing a whole lot of the side missions and clearing out enemy forward operating bases, taking out high value targets and things like that. So I just wish that there would have been a little bit more to the story, but that is coming. It's probably going to be through DLC. I have no idea if paid or free, but this is going to be an ongoing game. We'll get it eventually, but of course it just felt a little let down that you're kind of like, oh, okay, we still have to wait a little bit. I just really liked, though, how great this world felt to explore, and you do get a lot of amazing Master Chief moments in this, and you do see him the most human that we've ever seen him, the most vulnerable that we've ever seen him too, where he's lost a lot and he is losing a lot around him. The UNSC is scattered all over Zeta Halo. He doesn't really have any idea what's going on. There's a new AI named Weapon who's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed her character, and kind of them working together and clashing was just a great, like I said, just way to make Master Chief vulnerable and human. And he also has these interactions with Echo 216, and I just thought that it was just very good to actually see him interact with the soldiers, not just someone like Johnston or Arbiter, like actually interacting with the small, almost human-like soldiers who were just very grounded in there, either because they volunteered or they're scared or they were forced into this lifestyle for the sake of humanity. Little things like that, people who aren't like him. And it was just a really great way to ground out his character, and I love the storytelling in this, and it's just all the new characters they introduced made me awesome. The enemies are great, and the boss fights are so good too. I loved Arshium. He's become one of my favorite Halo villains, and he's going to be up there for a while. He was really great. There's the Harbinger, who's awesome too, and yeah, just really great characters that they introduced and just has fights in this game. Is really awesome. So when it comes to exploring Zeta Halo itself, like I said, it's a very big world, and it is absolutely beautiful. The graphics in this are absolutely stunning and amazing. Lighting effects are great. Ray tracing is great. It looks amazing on PC, which is where I played it, and I'm certain it looks fantastic on the Series X and S as well, but I played it on PC, so that's where my review is coming from. And yeah, it was just absolutely fantastic and beautiful to explore. There's so much wildlife that runs around and flies around in it, and of course it is just a living ring. It changes, it moves on you. It's really cool, but at the same time, a lot of the landscapes are the same, where it feels like from one end of the map to the other, you could go to 5 different operating bases, things like that, and still feel in the same spot in a sense, just because the landscapes are very similar. It doesn't change too much, but it's huge and it's beautiful still. There's so many caves for you to explore where you could find just really great either Easter eggs, secrets, or collectibles within this game. And so that's where a lot of the open world kind of comes into place, where there's a bunch of different challenges where you can do, where there's high value banished targets for you to take out. There's forward operating bases that are controlled by the banished that you can go in and take out to reclaim for the UNSC. There's radio towers that you could destroy, places of interest that give you upgrades to Master Chief's armor, where you can increase your shield capacity, and basically the multiplayer abilities you get, which your dash, your grapple hook, things like that, you can upgrade by finding these upgrades throughout the world. There's also these structures that you can find that give you cosmetic things for multiplayer. So if you find these, they'll transfer over and you can customize your multiplayer Spartan. There's basically these artifacts that give you lore and history of Zeta Halo for you to scan and come in. So there's just so much to do, so much to do, and it's huge, and there's a lot of ways you can tackle this. And when you do all these little side missions, it gives you weapons and vehicles to spawn in at your forward operating bases that you take over. So you take out this radio tower, you can also get a Wasp and things like that to help you traverse Zeta Halo a lot quicker, a lot more efficiently, things like that. The grappling hook has to be one of my favorite additions to Halo Infinite. It's just amazing in terms of, one, combat maneuverability, and then just getting around the world and getting vantage points on enemies, things like that. You can upgrade it so it electrifies enemies and stuns them, and if you, of course, do, when you hit them, you come and you can just punch or deliver like huge kicks and stuff like that. Well, that will just send people or vehicles flying. It's super awesome. It's great for taking down Banshees, to hijack them, even race, things like that. There's a lot of vehicles in this. The Wasp is a great addition. Gungoose is fantastic. The Chopper makes a really good debut back. I did quite enjoy driving the Chopper around in this game, but my favorite vehicle is definitely always going to be the Scorpion tank, the Warthog, and the Wasp are just very fun to traverse. You're definitely going to need the Wasp a little more often than you would think, because there's a lot of sections on Zeta Halo that are, you can't cross them on foot. You're gonna need a Wasp to get you from point A to point B, or climb, or there'll be little caverns that you need to find that I mean, if you can grapple down, but it's just a lot easier to use the Wasp, and then you have a lot more firepower to use too against the Banished that control these places. But there's a lot to do in this campaign, and it's just so much fun. Like I said, it took me around 15-20 hours to actually explore and do everything, and even I just like running around, and there's a lot to do in the after game, especially if you didn't do a lot of the side stuff during the main campaign. There's lots to find. The cosmetics you get for the multiplayer are great, and yeah, I just had a fantastic time with this game. I'm excited to see how the story grows and goes from here, but it's just absolutely epic moments. I love how Chief is kind of back to the old days of him only saying things when he needs to be an absolute badass, and it's just super fun, super fun. And yeah, highly recommend the campaign to anyone. It is a blast of a time. One of the best Halo campaigns I've played since Halo Reach, or Halo 3 really, and just one of the best campaigns I played this year. It was fantastic. I loved it. I'm going to be playing this campaign over and over and over again for years and years to come, like I've been able to do with all the other Halo games. And now I'm going to get into the multiplayer aspect. So this has been out for a little bit, and there has been a lot of overhauls and things here and there. I am on the group that kind of wishes... I've never been a battle pass guy. I just don't like spending that extra money just for cosmetic things and weekly challenges that don't really change too much, or events that will let you some cool things. It's just not really why I play multiplayer games in a sense, and I don't like having to pay that extra fee. It is free to play, I get that, but I've never taken advantage of buying battle passes just for cosmetic things. And the fact that the progression in this game and actually unlocking things is entirely linked to battle pass, and you barely get anything from doing it, does frustrate me a little bit. It takes a bit away of what I think Halo is, especially when progression is all linked through weekly and daily challenges, and everyone's just trying to farm kills with a certain weapon or do little things here and there. It takes away from everyone just kind of playing Halo. They're all doing these little side stuff, and they'll ignore objectives, or they don't want to hold them. I do find that if I get put in, say, a challenge that says play 5 rounds of oddball, I will not get oddball for a long time, because it's all quick play. You can't choose which game mode you want to play and just get in it. So I just feel like ever since this kind of system came in, it takes me forever to get into oddball matches. It'll take 10 times for me just to get into one. And I don't want to have to go into a lobby, back out, and just wait to get in. I don't feel like that's fair for other players, but that's what I would have to do if it's just with the time that I have. It's just, like I said, it takes away from the Halo multiplayer experience, and it just doesn't... I've had to just kind of say, screw it, I'm not going to care about unlocking cosmetics or getting my rank up. I'm just going to play Halo to play Halo. But when not everyone's doing that, and it takes away from people actually playing objectively and as a team and things like that, again, it just takes away a huge part of what the Halo multiplayer experience has always been, and I'm really missing a lot of these things. I do like all the maps that they have, whether it be in the big team battle or just the quick play matches that you do. They are very fun, and I like the game modes quite a bit too, but I also found that when it comes to oddball, I'm not really too interested in playing it, because it's not a one-hit kill for you to like hit someone with a skull anymore. It's 2 hits. You can swing a little bit faster than the other person, but you move a lot slower, and it's just really, no one wants to play the objective, because you're going to get killed. It's so tough to hold it unless you have the most amazing teammates who can battle out a 3v4 for you. And yeah, it's just, that's not my favorite game mode. But when it comes to the big team battles, I really like it. I like Capture the Flag, the Big Team Slayer, things like that. The control points, or even the seed collection game, is really fun. And yeah, all the maps are just absolutely stellar. There's a great balance between you finding the weapons that you want to have, and just the timers on them for anyone else to grab them, I think is really good. Ordnance drops, vehicle drops are all great, very balanced. I had one game that wasn't balanced at all, where the other team had a Wasp, a tank, a Banshee, like all these things on our side. Never got any of these drops, so of course you know who's going to win that round. But I do find that for every other single match, aside from that one, it's been very balanced and just very fun to actually go and play this game. And just, yeah, the maps are great, and it's just the way that they've structured how the games work. I just, like I said, very balanced, very good, and I do have a ton of fun when I'm actually just getting into a bunch of like a lobby full of people who just want to play Halo, and it runs great on PC. I haven't run into any issues of really lag or frame rates dropping, nothing like that. After the first week of launch, it was a little rough at first, but it got a lot better, and I've just, yeah, absolutely no problems just actually playing the matches. The only one thing that I've had is when I get into a fire team with like 4 or even more of my friends, where they'll put us in a big team battle, but not in the same squad, even though we are a squad of 4 going in, and we just found that that was absolutely pointless, and we didn't understand the point of that mechanic, where it's like, okay, well, we're not in the same squad, but like we joined in as a team of 4 together. It just didn't really make sense to us. And like I said, when it comes to the Spartan customization, even with the battle pass, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot there for you to do. I miss the days of being able to like change the color schemes everywhere in your body, actually have a ton of attachments to unlock. I found Reach had the absolute best when it came to customization. It was really, really good to customize all these little things. And like I said, if you don't have battle pass, you're not getting all these different attachments. In the campaign, it's mostly just colors, like weapon buddies, things like that you'll get for your armor, your guns, not really just changing the cosmetic appearances of everything. You do get a decent amount of visors to play and choose from, but other than that, not really a whole lot for you to pick and choose from. But they said that they're going to overhaul the progression system in this. They're going to overhaul a lot of things. We just don't know when that's going to happen. So like I said, it's a little tough for me to score this game like what I think is fairly right now, because it is gonna get better. As they said, we'll just have to wait and see what these changes are when they actually implement them, and like how it all progresses. Same thing with the campaign. We're still waiting on theater, forge mode, co-op for the campaign, and there's just, yeah, like I said, a lot that we're waiting for. And some of the things that they've done so far, like I said, have taken away from the Halo experience for me, but nothing that's like game ruining or crashing or anything like that. I haven't really had issues with just the game's performance. It's just little things that don't quite feel like Halo anymore because of the whole battle pass and free-to-play structure in the multiplayer, and just the fact that they're going to be adding on to the campaign for years to come, where parts just feel unfinished, and I explain things like that. But the product that they've given us so far is absolutely great, and I do give a high recommendation for any Halo fan, because this is just quintessential to what Halo should feel like. And that's 343's, like I said, best attempt at making a Halo game, and they just did a solid job, and I'm very happy with the beautiful game that they have been able to create and give to the world, all the fans. So with all this taken together, like I said, I love the return of Master Chief, and just having a very focused story on him and just what it means to be the hero to humanity that we all see him and know him to be. And there's just a lot of lost great things with the campaign in this. The multiplayer is a ton of fun. I just wish that things would be a little different, even though, of course, like I understand this is the free-to-play structure for most any game, but it's just not true to really what Halo is. And it, like I said, it just makes a lot of people not play Halo for Halo. It's just all about the progression, and that does take away from the gameplay a little bit. So those are kind of like my main takeaways from both the multiplayer and the campaign. But there's so much that's coming to this game that, again, like I said, could increase or decrease the score depending on how it goes. But for right now, I do have to give Halo Infinite one of my must-play recommendations for the year, and of just for any Halo fan. It is fantastic, amazing. It's even to a decent starting point for some people. They do touch over the story very, very well in terms of campaign about what's happened beforehand. But it's absolutely great, and yeah, I have to give it, as of right now, an 8 out of 10. It's absolutely badass. It's so much fun. The enemy AI is so smart. It's just one of the best put together games, first person shooter, Halo, whatever, you name it wise, of all time. It's just so much fun. They did an amazing job putting this piece of art together, and like I said, there's just little things here that take it away the score a little bit, but they are building upon it, so this could turn into a 9 or 10 out of 10 down the line. Who knows where it's gonna go? That's all up to 343, but yeah, I absolutely have to recommend it to anyone, and it's awesome.